Hi everybody, Joe here from SHUTTERSPEAK Photography. Very nice to see your smiling faces again here on YouTube. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the world of Nikon, a couple of things to get you up to speed on, and what to look forward to next week in terms of LUMINAR AI. We should have some new stuff for you regarding that product, and on 2021 has an AI product out as well, so we'll get you up to speed on that next week. But for today, we're going to talk about Nikon. So before we get started, I'd just like to say I appreciate you being here watching this video, and if anything in this video does help you out or helps you make a good decision, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Also hit subscribe and ring the bell, most importantly, and that way you get updated for future videos when they come out. And again, I would certainly appreciate that. So if anything in this video helps you out, just help me out by hitting that subscribe button. That's probably the nicest thing you could do for me. So, and best of all, it's free. So let's get started. By now you probably know the Z6S and the Z7S have an announcement that's pretty much imminent. It could be any day now, maybe over the next couple of days or early in October. That's what's expected. Okay, there is a small rumor that they could be called the Z6 II and the Z7 II. Actually, that would kind of make sense, but as we know, generally with Nikon, the camera series, that's a refresh, and this certainly is shaping up to be a refresh, not a new camera. Generally tends to get the S designation. So I would expect Z6S, Z7X, S, but again, possibility of a 2, but probably not. Okay, so it's the same body and the same sensor that you currently have in your current Z6 or Z7 camera. It's the same EVF that's in your current camera. So there was a rumor of a 5.76 million dot pitch EVF. That turns out not to be correct. Listen, the Z6, Z7, and the Z5, the EVF is fantastic. However, truth be told, it lags far behind the Sony EVF, which comes in well over 9 million dots. So we're far, far behind in resolution in terms of the EVF. But that doesn't mean that it's not a fantastic EVF. It is. And of course, resolution isn't everything in an EVF. So it's, you know, again, it's always subjective, but that upgrade would have been nice. It would have gotten us closer to where, you know, certainly Nikon's largest competitor in the mirrorless world is with Sony. But even still, that would have been far behind where they are. So I'd like to see an improvement in that in an upcoming series of cameras, but well, who's to say, right? So improved autofocus. Again, this is an area where Nikon seriously lags behind Sony with iFocus. Now, if you're coming off of another Nikon camera like a D850, a D810, D750, a camera body that didn't have iFocus, and you move to a Z6 or a Z7 or a Z5 and you have that iFocus, you're going to love it and you're going to say, this is fantastic, this is the greatest thing. But there's no question that Nikon's iFocus lags way, way behind that of Sony and way, way behind that of Canon. So Nikon really needs to step up the game here in terms of iFocus. This is crucial if they're going to continue to compete in a very competitive mirrorless camera market. And let's face it, mirrorless is where the future is. I mean, there's honestly, I wouldn't tell you not to do what's best for you, but for me, I'm not investing in mirrored cameras anymore. I'm only investing in mirrorless because it's the way to go. Now, I've got to be honest with you, I am investing in Nikon. Not so sure that that's the way to go unless they really step up their game here. You know, it would be a shame to see Nikon kind of fall too far behind. And, you know, again, it's a great camera system. I love it. It takes a beautiful photo, color resolution, sharpness, clarity. You just can't beat it. The lenses are nothing short of spectacular. But there are a few shortcomings, and iFocus is absolutely one of them. So we'll see what this series brings, whether it be the 6 or the 2. But again, I'd like to see a big jump here in iFocus. So we'll see what that brings. We're going to see the dual X-speed processors. Now they're going to be dual card slots, so it makes sense that there's going to be dual X-speed processors. Generally, when we see an S series, they also tend to get a little bit, squeeze a little bit of extra image quality out of these sensors when they do the refreshes. So I might expect maybe a little bit of improvement in the image quality, but again, I mean, we're already looking at spectacular image quality through these cameras with the Z series lenses. So, but hey, let's see what Nikon can do. You never know what tricks they have up their sleeve, right? You're going to get the new EN-EL15C battery. Okay, that features USB charging. I think that's a nice thing to have. I don't know anyone who was really clamoring for that. It's not like that was a major complaint, and it seems like Nikon with these series cameras has addressed all the complaints that photographers have had and has fixed them with these new cameras, and that's wonderful. That's them listening to their audience, and I definitely respect and appreciate that. But this isn't one that people were really probably asking for, but I could see how it could be a super useful feature, and it might be a real nice thing to have. So speaking of dual card slots, you're going to have a dual CF Express XQD slot, and then a second slot, which is going to be an SD card. This is the way that the Sonys went for quite a while. Is it as good as having dual CF? Probably not, but hey, listen, as long as the buffer can keep up, you know, I don't see any reason not to have an SD card. It keeps the body size down. If it works, great, I'm all for it. Again, this is a wait and see. You are going to see some increased buffer size and frame rate in these new cameras as well, but we don't know the exact specs for that yet. You are going to get 4K 60 frame progressive video, so that's a nice thing to have. And again, next feature, Nikon really addressing what its audience has been asking for, taking into account user feedback and complaints, and so vertical grip with buttons. Okay, so if you remember, the first vertical grip didn't have buttons and it was widely criticized. So again, buttons on the vertical grip, nice to have. They're talking about an improved user interface, so I'm going to assume that's in the menus. We'll see if there's a new menu system or what type of improvements, but that's an unknown. And they're also talking about a firmware update after launch that's going to provide what they're calling new features. We don't know what these new features are, but so again, expect that. And it's also an unknown. Will these new features be available on the existing Z6, Z7? Will this firmware bring improvement possibly to iFocus on your Z6 and Z7? Or is it only going to be for the Z6S, Z7S? Again, it's a wait and see. Okay, so look for that announcement from Nikon really any day now, but possibly the first week of October, if not maybe even this week. Okay, so next up we have the Nikkor Z24-50 f4 to 6.3 lens. This lens still is not shipping, but it is available for pre-order now. So if that was something that you were looking for, it is a very small and inexpensive lens. So if you're looking for something small and light, that might be a lens for you, available for pre-order now. Next up in Nikon news, the Nikon Photo Contest. It's the 38th annual photo contest. Opens October 22nd. Go online and check out the details for that if you'd like to enter. And finally, that's the end of the Nikon news for now, but finally, just something to look for next week. I'm going to have a very large update on what's going on with LUMINAR AI with a whole bunch of information, so look for that video on October 1st. And in a kind of surprise move, On1 has their new 2021 AI product out with their Portrait AI product out as of right now. So that product is available for pre-order, but with the pre-order, you're getting their Portrait AI product now. So they kind of jumped the gun a little bit by putting part of their product out immediately, kind of almost leapfrogging Skylum and Luminar a little bit there. So look for that. That you can pre-order and get the new product out, but I'll have a review on the On1 AI portrait retouching program out as soon as I can get to you. So possibly next week. All right, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching. And again, if anything in this video helps you out, please help me out by hitting subscribe, ring the bell for future updates. And once again, thanks for watching. See you next time, YouTube. Bye-bye.